All right, this is me and Mike. We're doing our component location lab right now, and this is his 2006 Chevy Silverado 4.3 liter. And right now we have the intake pulled off, and currently we are looking at our Spider fuel sending unit right now. We're having some troubles getting to the actual fuel pressure testing unit, which is located
right here,
right back here in this black little fitting, right under the intake. And you can see down here, you can't really see much, but this uses a poppet valve system, so it works like kind of like a check valve.
So we had a little bit of trouble finding the intake air temp and the MAF sensors. Turns out they're actually both included together right past the airbox. I also have a MAP sensor that would be right here on top of the intake, located behind the throttle body. And in relation to the crank position sensor and the cam position sensor, they're both on the rear of the engine. The cam position sensor is more higher up behind the fuel delivery assembly. You can't really see it because there's lots of wires back there. And then the crank position sensor would be down near the rear of the crank where the bell housing is. Here, working on the 4.3 Silverado again. We are still locating some components. We had about 4 or 5 left. First one up is the MAP sensor. It's under the intake. We had to take this part off. It's located right here on top of the manifold. Next, we have my knock sensor, which would be on the rear of the engine. About halfway down, I'd say about right, you can see.
Kind of
somewhere
there, yeah.
Somewhere back there.
You got the gist.
Yeah. EGR. This engine doesn't actually have EGR because we couldn't find any, recirculating tubes that go back into the intake. And with the O2s, we have 2, since it's a V6. On the driver's side bank, that's the upstream because it's before the cat. And on the passenger bank, it is the downstream because it is past the cat. All the way down there. Back with the 4.3 again. We're currently testing output voltage on the DLC, which will be pin 16. Ran into a slight problem. We were getting low voltage. I'm talking millivolts. So we had a little backtrack. We pulled the fuse block. Turns out the fuse that it runs off of is the cigarette lighter fuse, and we'll put a picture of the schematic. Right there. Turns out the 15 amp fuse was blown. So we pulled the fuse, went to Miss K, got us a little new one, pulled our cigarette lighter out, ran it, and we finally got readings for the voltage. If you come over here, we can get this going. On. Off now.
Technical difficulties.
Gotta love GMs. Key back on. Okay. We are reading 1125 volts, which means we're all good to go.
Got our battery positive.
All right, we're back here with the 4.3, looking at some pits on the scanner. Right now, we're on the transmission menu, and we're just kind of going through, seeing whatnot. Just turned it over, and right here we're reading the RPM, and we can give it a little gas. See that it goes up a little bit. Shows your torque, throttle position sensor. You can see that was at 20% right there.
All right, back again with the 4.3 here. We're doing some output testing with the scan tool on the MAP sensor. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start it up. I'll have Mike start it up here in a second, and then we'll get a reading, and then we're going to unplug it and then basically see what happens after that and see how well the truck runs.
Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna be getting this reading right here off the map. Ready?
Yep, I'll leave this.
Cranking. Okay, round 2. Sorry about that. We were on MAP instead of MAF. We're all good to go. Ty, she all plugged in, ready to go?
Yep, she's all plugged in.
Perfect.
Go ahead and start her up.
Cranking. All right. Now we got our reading.
About still going lower, still dropping a bit. About 6.2 to 6.3-ish.
We'll take it.
And then we'll go unplug it.
A little plug-in from Gavin. What up, Gav? Unplugged. 0. Engine still runs great.
Still running all the way down to 0.
Let's give it a little bit of gas. All right, part 2 of this lab. We're gonna be starting the truck up with the MAP sensor unplugged. Ty, y'all unplugged, ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Let's get her going. It sounds like it's starting to me.
Sounding amazing.
Wham bam. All right, so back with the readings. We're doing the readings on if the sensor would throw a code if we unplugged it, and we're looking here. It actually did. So my math and my IAT are put together in that same little connection that Ty's working on. And I ended up throwing 2 codes for signal low and signal high. So not good.
All right, so we're back measuring voltages at our MAP sensor, and so we just back probed it right now. We found out that this blue pin right here, connected to our yellow wire with no tracer, is actually going to be our battery positive wire. It connects here. We should be measuring right about 5 or so volts if we can get the ground right.
Give me, come on, baby. No?
She doesn't want to go.
Oh, she don't want to work this time. I just had her.
There we go. Yeah,
Perfect.
you can see.
Awesome.